Thank you very much, dear Patricia, respected friends and panelists. Well, the question is quite broad, but I will try to provide as much as I can in a few minutes what we are doing as a government and what we are actually trying to do it in collaboration with other governments in the region. First of all, I'm really grateful for having me here today at this event. And here I would really say that I'm really thankful to OECD for guiding us through the process of policy making, providing us insights and expertise for policy makers in each country in the process of preparation, the study labor migration in the Western Balkans. For us, the reports like this are of a big help because we as policymakers, we are keen to develop quality based on usually less evidences, but this report actually provides a good basis on rich evidence and actionable policy recommendation which will secure more intensive and sustainable economic growth, while at the same time it serves as an overlook of our competitive virtues as a region. And competitiveness is something that I will talk later. But here I would like to stress out as well and be aware that this study should not be for a base for competing purposes among us in the region, but it should serve all of us in order to create a much more clearer picture of our mutual competitive advantage and how we can grow together, because our future is interconnected, and now more than ever we have to have a holistic, inclusive and mutual growth oriented approach to policy making. If we fail to do this, then the scenarios that already is happening of youth migration and brain drain will be even more fostered. What can one national government do and that has fallen or achieved to do so? Probably everyone will say align the national policies with global objectives such as SDG goals or other EU higher objectives. North Macedonia, to be frank, does not lag behind having all these documents in place. We have adopted the Agenda 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals back in 2015 and reiterated in 2018, and we are thriving to sustain the agenda's paradigm, which is leave no one behind. Recently, the National Assembly adopted the new resolution on migration policies and the action plan for 2021-2025 for the country back in December 2021. At the same time, we need to recognize that establishing cooperation with diaspora is important, and therefore, again, we didn't fail. We created a good and comprehensive document, National Strategy of the Republic of North Macedonia for Cooperation with Diaspora for the period 2019-2023. But still in the report, it seems that this is not enough, or there is more we can do. For the first time, creation of the new jobs is planned together with the employers. All the measures are implemented in the cooperation with all stakeholders and according to the real needs in the country at the local level. This is why we conducted a reform for the dual education in order to provide a greater flexibility and responsive vocational schools that will meet the needs of the employers and the labor market. The attractiveness of vocational education and training is enhanced, which is still reflected in the increased number of students in vocational education. Namely, in the school year 2021-2022, the number of vocational education training students is increased by 16% compared to the last school year. At the same time, the government believes that the investing in innovation and startup companies will provide an opportunity for the young people in the country and reduce the economic migration in order to demonstrate our clear policy and willingness to follow young people's idea. We actually, through the Fund for Innovation and Technology Development, only in few years, we have invested more than 100 million euros. So we are actually trying to create stable economic environment, good economic policies, which would help building attractive and predictive business environment. As I see it, the purpose about, as I see the issue of migration and the purpose is not to lock the young people in the country, but to create opportunities for them that will make it possible for them to reach their fullest potential in their own country, but at the same time make them competitive enough for the world. Migration is common in the EU countries as well, but what happens there is people moving for jobs from country to country. That's what I think should aim for a two-way migration instead of one-way ticket, which is happening actually in the Western Balkans. That's why I'm fully supportive of all initiatives that increases the regional cooperation and collaboration in order to increase the competitiveness of the human capital and the economies itself. No matter if we are talking on common regional market, Open Balkan Initiative, CEFTA initiative, or any other initiative in Western Balkan 6. But still, there are so many initiatives that are promoted and that are supporting the competitiveness. Why we are still all together failing to keep our people in our countries and the region? Probably the answer will be because there is a lack of security, stability, predictability, and clear perspective related with vision, which are missing in our region. And whether we can do it alone, probably not. What we must do is not avoid our problems, but shine a bright light on them and talk openly about it. But most importantly, include the ones most affected in the dialogue. This is what this new generation is asking from us, demands. I'm proud to say that recently we started creating the first national development strategy after a long period, which is a long-term 20-year vision for sustainable development and growth of our country. And in the process of developing it, we are doing exactly that. We are including everyone. We are trying to make it as inclusive as possible, especially with young people. I wish actually when I was young, someone would be able to tell me what the country I would be living in, working and making life in 20 years to come. So I'm hoping that we will be able to create the vision for our youngsters, but not just that. I'm hoping that we will be able to create that future, all of us together. We trust that this development strategy will create an enabling environment, a new way forward that would allow us and our society to come together and pave the path for development of our country in the upcoming 20 years. Let me end with this. We, the countries of Western Balkan, share the same past, and it's the same for our future. We need to develop through mutual cooperation and growth our strength and use them as a competitive advantage for the region, all while talking a straightforward path towards the European Union. This will ensure that our citizens, especially young people, to see a clear vision and future. In this clarity, it is easier for them to identify their ambitions and the life they expect to live with our countries, with our region. And that is what we are doing. That's what we are working towards, because that's the future we as well want to see happen for them. Thank you.